Smart Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, it is time for the final round of Season 2 of our F1 2019 Championship. We have already been crowned the World Drivers' Champion the previous round in Brazil. If you guys want to go watch a better Grand Prix than the actual 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix, go down to the previous video. Heading to the performance shot for the final time this season, guys. It's Racing Point leading the way from Red Bull in second, ourselves in Rich Energy Haas Racing third, Williams 4th, Mercedes 5th, Ferrari 6th, Alfa Romeo 7th, McLaren 8th, Renault 9th, and Toro Rosso are in 10th. Now guys, heading into this final weekend, even though we've already won the championship, I'm not somebody that's known for just letting off the throttle, if I can put it that way. I was really going to push hard this weekend. As you guys will see here, I lose it going through the second and third corner, the S's here at Abu Dhabi. I just overcooked it way too much. We was asking too much of the tires in the car. So I really had a little bit of a moment there. But guys, I have never won a race at Abu Dhabi. I know the Haas has the pace to run at the front, so that is what we're going for this weekend. So let's see what qualifying can deliver us. Let's head straight to Yas Marina.
Here we are at the beautiful Yas Island circuit, where qualifying is about to begin. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the action. Looking at this field today, Anthony, do you think we're going to see anyone take a chance? Maybe run the hard tyres and save some of the grippier tyres for the race tomorrow?
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that, and even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race, so I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
Jumping straight to the end of qualifying, guys. As you guys can see, we get through in P13. I only did one run in the middle of qualifying. I could feel that the track grip was not up yet, so we are actually lucky to scrape through. But guys, heading into Q2, obviously now I'm going to open up the car to 11, and now we're going to go with everything we've got. We set our first lap time on the worn set of soft tires. We do a 1 minute 33.2, and then we head to our final run here in Q2. I was very aggressive throughout the lap, guys. As you guys see, I took a chunk out of my time, more than a second off of my time. A little bit hasty coming out of the final quarter. The rear end is not complying with me. But we go P3 actually, only just over 2.5 tenths away from Lucas Weber. Guys, I have to say Lucas Weber's pace this weekend was almost unmatched. The Racing Point team have really done bits for that car, and heading into Season 3, that car is going to be the car to watch, and I can guarantee you guys Lucas Weber and Sergio Perez are going to be big guys to watch for the Season 3 World Championship. That depends on where we go. Remember that, guys, this is also our final race.
So far is a 1:33.2.
Thank you, Jeff. For Rich Energy Haas Racing, guys, you guys know the drill. As soon as I win a Drivers' World Championship with a team, it is arrivederci, and I head towards another team. So, if you're interested, drop in the comments down below where you guess. Well, Jeff, can you please keep quiet now? What you are guessing the team is we will be going to come the end of the season. Yeah, not come the end of the season, heading into the new season. Oh my word, I'm sorry guys, I'm busy being a little bit of a nunny. But in any case, guys, all that aside for now, let's quickly head on to our final flying lap in this Rich Energy Haas Racing car. It's a little bit of a sad day because I've fallen in love with this car, but it's the final time. Through the first quarter, really well run, good run through there. As you guys see, I head through this very beautiful Aces in an F1 car. They are absolutely flat out, unlike in the F2 cars. Heading into this next downhill section, brake very late onto the outside curb for this left-right chicane. Now into the famous Yas hairpin. It's a beautiful corner this to miss the curb on this, and I have a light clip there which is not really too bad, and open up down this back straight. Guys, on the performance chart we do have the strongest engine package on the entire grid, so top end speed and acceleration is something we do not worry about because our engine is not by far, but it is the best engine on track. So We head here through the left-right chicane at the end of the first straight. Now heading towards the second DRS straight here, guys. Bump the car down to overtake as soon as you hit 7th gear. It's not really a straight, it's a little bit of a bend, but we call it a straight. Now heading into this next corner, guys, brake as late as possible. Mount the curve on the outside, then inside. This is basically like a Scari at Monza, a trip chicane. So you really have to be easy going through that section into a 90-degree left-hander. Now down this next section where Nico Rosberg and Narain Kartikeyan had a spectacular crash. I think it was in 2010 or 2011. But it's a very hard corner. Be careful on the brakes as you head into the corner. Now through this double left-hander, heading into the final 2 corners of the track. Make sure you don't overdrive the car because the rear end will kick out on you. Mount the curb on the inside and on the outside. The final corner, it's a hard braking zone, but miss the curb on the inside, mount the curb on the outside. It's a little bit of oversteer, but it's speed!
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Weber, O'Connor and Pierre Gasly. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
I'm on the front row with my former F2 teammate. Guys, I smell a war coming. Let's head straight to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
So here we are, ready to go racing for one final time this year. Another season of victories, controversies and rivalries lies in our wake. And just one challenge remains here in the United Arab Emirates on a circuit that made its spectacular debut back in 2009. Welcome to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We have 21 corners here at Yas Island Circuit with 10 to the right and 11 to the left. It's a total lap distance of 3.4 miles. 2 long straights open up some passing opportunities into the chicanes, and we expect average lap speeds of around 123 miles per hour. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about O'Connor. They've had a fantastic campaign. It's been a wonderful year, and they come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
I agree it's been a truly impressive season, but championship or no, I don't think they'll be gently cruising around to the finish line. In fact, with points no longer a concern, there's a lot less to risk, so we may even see a more aggressive approach.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lucas Weber lines up on pole position and O'Connor completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton and Bottas, Russell, Grosjean, Raikkonen and Pierre Gasly, Albon, Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel and Stroll, Verstappen, Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen and Antonio Giovinazzi. Norris and Devon Butler starts from the back of the grid, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, we've already won the championship, so relax and enjoy this race.
That is the idea, Jeff. But guys, like I said, I would really like to win here at Abu Dhabi. I've never ever won at this track on any F1 game, so that is a goal to me. But if I think about Lucas Weber, he's got to do everything in his power to stop us. But guys, without further ado, jam with me on the formation lap. Yeah. are you guys ready for the final round of the season? We glare over to Lucas Weber's side of the track as we head to 5 red lights here at Yas Marina for the final time. And it's go, go, go for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I get a beautiful jump all the line on Lucas Weber. I was quicker on the lights. Heading into the first corner, I just send it. Guys, that looks like contact. I can guarantee you guys there was no contact there, but that was millimeters apart. As you guys see, Lucas Weber tries to go around the outside, heading into the S's. That was an absolutely beautiful move from my side. I don't know why on the replay it looks like we made contact, because I can clearly remember that there was no contact made whatsoever from my personal POV. But let bygones be bygones. You guys can decide whether that was contact or not, but I can tell you from my side that there was no contact whatsoever. But as you guys see, I already have to go defensive, because even though we have the strongest engine on the grid, the Racing Point is the second strongest engine, and with Slipstream that engine is just as OP as our engine. As you guys see at the background, Perez is defending from Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, as trying to go around the outside of Lewis Hamilton is the Williams of George Russell. He gets the move done for now, but I can guarantee you Hamilton will not be liking that, and he will be getting that Mercedes ahead of the Williams quicker than we can say Mercedes ahead of Williams. In any case, as you guys head through this pod, you guys can see I am leading the way. I think for the first time ever, I'm leading an Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as we head here into the third sector. As you guys see here now, Weber is behind us with his teammate Sergio Perez in P3. So basically, I'm battling the 2 Racing Points today for the race win. Ooh, I'm a little bit late onto the brakes, heading into that little section where Rosberg and Carter Kane had their spectacular crash back whenever. It's a long time ago, guys. That was when the cars were still V8s. So, oh, I miss those engines. But in any case, guys, we round the final corner on the first lap to start basically the race of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And we lead the first lap here around Yas Marina. But now, guys, like I said, if Lucas Weber has got anything to say about this, this is not going to be an easy battle. But the former F2 teammates for today are now rivals, and we are going to war here around Yas Marina. Guys, I can confirm that, which I asked Jeff already on the first lap. Weber is going for a 2-stop just like myself, but the question is Weber going to go on to a second set of softs or a set of mediums for his second stint? Because I'm going on to the mediums. I'm not going to switch my strategy around. I'm going for the mediums so I can have an aggressive last stint. But as you guys see, heading into the chicane at the end of the back straight, you guys can see Weber went for a move that I shoved him out a little bit wide, left him drying there, didn't shove him off track, so there's nothing illegal about that move, as now his teammate Sergio Perez is trying to get around him to try and have a bite at my gearbox. If you guys see heading into the end of the second back straight, you're heading into the corner, will it be Perez? Oh, there's a piece of front wing flying there. There is a piece of front wing flying there. What has happened there? Is that Weber's front wing or Perez's front wing? As you jump back to the POV of Sergio Perez, Checo himself, you guys see he's very late onto the brakes. And that is the right front end plate of Sergio Perez. He gets the move done on Lucas Weber, but now he is just going to be the bottleneck, and he is going to start to form a train. But guys, not even half a lap later, and Lucas Weber has said, nah. Perez, get out of my way. I'm busy trying to fight here for a race win, a very prestigious race win when it comes to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Guys, it's no Monaco or no Spa, no Monza as well, but Abu Dhabi is definitely in the top, I would say, top 7, top 8 of most prestigious Grand Prix. If you guys actually would like to see a video about that, all the tracks on the current F1 calendar, from most prestigious to, well, from least prestigious to most prestigious, I'm more than willing to do that. As you guys see there, Weber got past Perez, but Charles Leclerc has not done that yet. Guys, I think Charles Leclerc is just trying to race Ferrari's hand for the final time on the podium. The second of the season has really just been a bad luck run for Ferrari. Compared to Verstappen, my main championship rival, it has been penalties after penalties, bad luck after bad luck, unreliability after unreliability, and basically just the bad luck has cost Ferrari the Drivers' Championship. They have won the Constructors. The beginning part of their season was absolutely dominant, so nothing was going to dethrone Ferrari from taking the Constructors' Championship, but they have lost the Drivers' Championship, and I think Leclerc just wants that one final hurrah before we start Season 3. Because, guys, heading into Season 3, I really think Ferrari are going to be guys to keep a very keen eye on. After the, look, Vettel won the Drivers' Championship in Season 1, so we have dethroned him as Drivers' World Champion. But Mercedes won the Constructors' Championship in Season 1. So Ferrari have not yet taken the double crown. They've got one Drivers' Championship in Season 1, and now they've won a Constructors' Championship in Season 2, but not a Drivers'. So Ferrari are definitely going to be hounding at Racing Point's heels come the start of Season 3. Guys, remember what I said in the previous episode, there is no regulation change, no parts are needed to be adapted for Season 3. So basically come end of Season 3, I think most of the cars on the grid will be maxed out. But that's almost guaranteeing a regulation change come the end of Season 3. So that's going to be very, very interesting, especially come the end of Season 3 when it comes to the contract negotiations for all the drivers on the grid. As you guys see here now, we are exiting the pit lane. We went on to our mediums fairly early because I was wanting to go for an undercut to see if I can build a little bit of a buffer to Lucas Weber. And as you guys see here, I'm going after Lance Stroll in the McLaren. And as we are heading here down this back straight, you guys can see that Stroll is really hounding everything out of this McLaren. He hits 330 kilometers an hour behind the Toro Rosso of, I think, Danny Kvyat. It is either Danny Kvyat or Alexander Albon. But in any case, guys, heading towards this next part, you guys can see I'm right behind him, and there is nothing that Stroll is going to be able to do about this. We dive to the inside, and it's a very... Ooh, that's a little bit of an aggressive lunge to the right-hand side from me. I do apologize for that, Stroll. But, guys, the quicker I got through these back markers, the better. And, ooh, I even go for a dive up the inside of Lando Norris, who was caught napping there by myself. That was not a... That's not really an overtaking spot, but even in F2, I made that an overtaking spot. If the AI nap, I'm going to go for the move, guys. As the late great Atkinson would say, if you do not go for a gap, even if it is how small, you are no longer a racing driver. So the gap was wide, but it was not really an overtaking spot, but I went for the gap. As you guys see here now, the very next lap, Lewis Hamilton is diving it into the pit lane to strap on a set of mediums, so he is going on to the same strategy as myself. And then we're just quickly going to have a look at Pierre Gasly. Guys, Red Bull was nowhere in this Grand Prix. I do not know what happened, but Red Bull just had stupidly bad luck this final Grand Prix. They got all the bad luck that Ferrari has had this second half of the season. They got pummeled onto them for one whole race. So, yeah, sorry about that, Red Bull. But, luckily, you guys can look forward to next season. As you guys know, the Red Bull was really strong the end of the season, the car's performance. But, Pierre Gasly and Vettel just didn't, they didn't smoke the pipe like Red Bull wanted them to smoke the pipe. As you guys see that, I made a very aggressive move, on the first Toro Rosso there. And now, as my championship rival, Max Verstappen, is making a move on the second one, I steal DRS from him as well. I steal slipstream from him as well as DRS. And with my engine being a Ferrari engine, but being stronger than the works Ferrari engine, that is an easy move, as Max gives me a little bit of a wheel tap there coming out of the chicane, but that is us up another few positions. As guys, now my rival for this Grand Prix, Lucas Weber, once again I'm going to repeat, my ex-Formula 2 teammate. Oh, this is a rivalry brewing and a rivalry just waiting to happen, guys. He has entered the pit lane. He is actually strapping on a set of soft tires, so he's going very aggressive first half of the race, and that last part of his race is going to be the little conservative stint. But now, guys, this puts me in an awkward position, because now Lucas Weber is not going to be able to go as long as I'm going to be able to go on my mediums, and he is going to be pressuring me the whole way. So this guarantees an undercut for the second round of pit stops. Oh boy, this is putting me in a really tough position if I want to win this Grand Prix. But guys, we come on to the end of the next lap, and this is Charles Leclerc. Guys, I honestly thought that Charles was going to go onto the hard tires and just stretch it out to the end of the Grand Prix. But Charles did the same as Lucas, went onto a second set of softs, and is now just barreling for the end. If I was him, I would have gone for the one stop and see how it worked out for me. But that is Ferrari, so let's see what happens for him there. So you guys see, this is my POV. We come through this next part, and I am solidly ahead of Weber. Well, I was solidly ahead, but these soft tires compared to the mediums, they just catch up so stupidly quickly. And as you guys see, me and Weber actually built a solid gap to Leclerc. So now it's just us two in front, actually running away with this until this happened. Yep, Lucas Weber caught me, and now the fight commences. The war is underway between the two former Formula 2 teammates. Weber was not in the championship fight like myself and Devin Butler, and unfortunately this season Weber is also not in the championship fight. But guys, like I said, this can only be... Ooh.
DRS will be offline. There's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out. We can work on a fix remotely.
Oh my goodness, the F1 game does not want me to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. If I have one need to defend against Weber, I need my DRS, especially if he makes the move heading into this next chicane, guys. Sometimes the slipstream is just not strong enough. Oh boy, this is really not going my way this far. Come on, Haas. Fix this problem as quickly as possible. I cannot afford this. I cannot afford this even a little bit. No. Oh, guys, what can we do about it now? We have to work with what we have, and as you guys see, my rear wing is shut tight, and I'm just losing slipstream and that very strong engine in the rear end of my Haas car. And guys, with this whole battling going on between myself and Weber, obviously Charles Leclerc is going to catch up because we are fighting literally every single lap, the whole lap through. Because Weber's got the grip advantage, but I've got the power advantage. So in the straights, it's hard for him to pass me. And if he passes me, I'm so close to him. Thank goodness for this. And with my strong engine, the slipstream is just keeping me in the fight for the lead. But luckily for the final stint, I will be on the soft tires. But guys, now with this whole thing that I talked about with the strategy, if Weber and Leclerc are going for an undercut, they're going to force me to pit the next lap. Otherwise, I'm not going to win this race because they will bolt out in front. And even with soft tires, I will not catch them. Because guys, that racing point is just, it's an absolute bullet within the corners. As you guys see there, it's myself and Weber now fighting very hard. And now Charles Leclerc has joined the frame and he is trying to fight just as hard as Weber and myself. Guys, we're heading 3 wide into this next quarter, but I cut off the nose of Charles Leclerc, and that is me also squeezing Weber out a little bit to force him into the path of Charles Leclerc. I was hoping that these two guys would start fighting, but come the end of the lap, just Weber would not let go. But and that's what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. Weber is diving it into the pit lane, guys, along with Charles Leclerc. Ferrari mechanics, V Racing Point mechanics. So far, Ferrari have got the jump on the Racing Point mechanics. Can Ferrari do it again? Mediums onto Leclerc's car, mediums onto Weber's car. Who has got to come out in front? And it is Lucas Weber. Ferrari have not done the job like they did in the past. So that is still Lucas Weber now in basically net P2. So you guys see the very next lap. My mediums could have gone easily more 4, 5, maybe 6 laps, guys, and then my softs would have held. But now the problem is I'm going to have the grip advantage these first few laps. But the last 4 to 6 laps, I'm going to struggle immensely. So this race really has just gone from hard to almost impossible, but let's see what we can get going for ourselves. It is myself in the Haas, V Lucas Weber in the Racing Point, V Charles Leclerc the Ferrari, but Weber has jumped me with his undercut in the pit stop phases, but now he is being held up by traffic, who is on the medium strategy like myself, but not in the lead fight, so they are stretching out those mediums as long as they can. And now Lucas Weber is being held up. As you guys see, going through the Yaz hairpin, and now opening up DRS, heading down the first of the 2 back straights. You guys can see Weber is going for a move. I think this is Lewis Hamilton, if I'm not mistaken, ahead of us in his Mercedes, who also has had an absolutely terrible second half of the season. But luckily Mercedes will secure P2 in the Constructors' Championship. That's at least a little blessing in disguise. So you guys see it now. Oh no, this is actually Bottas. I quickly had a glimpse there of the 77 on Bottas' car. And now Weber has gotten past Bottas. But guys, I have to be very aggressive. I'm sorry for the contact, Bottas. But you can't hold me up. This is for my potential first ever win here around the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. I'm going for gold. Where's Charles Leclerc? Where is Charles? We just quickly glanced back over Bottas' rear, and Leclerc is gone. Okay, here's Leclerc. He was behind us on the straight, and then, oh no! Guys, just typical Ferrari luck. The final race of the season, just like the end of the 2018 season with Kimi Raikkonen's Ferrari, Charles Leclerc will not be finishing the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for Ferrari. And guys, Max Verstappen is fighting in the bottom of the top 10, 4 points. So that is really wretched luck for Ferrari. This season is a season to forget for Ferrari. As you guys see, I keep trying to force Lucas Weber to go defensive after he made the move on me on the straight, but he is just not complying. Luckily at this stage, my DRS was fixed, so I was back in the hunt. But guys, because I was battling so hard, these soft tires were not going to last me long. So I had about 6 laps to make them work. And guys, Weber just used and abused my slipstream to the very best of his of his talents, because I could not get away from this bloody Pink Panther, and this was now going to be a lap after lap after lap after lap after lap fight for the race win here at Yas Marina. And guys, besides Charles Leclerc, the next car behind us is Lewis Hamilton, and he was something like 20 seconds behind. Even with us battling almost that entire middle stint, we still extended the gap towards the Mercedes. That includes Charles Leclerc. That shows you guys how slow the Mercedes has gotten compared to the rest of us. So now obviously Hamilton, there you guys can see him in P3 as we run through the top 10. He can start catching us up because me and Weber are fighting. It's an absolute fist fight, bare fist, not even gloves. The gloves are off. We are fighting now for a race win here in Abu Dhabi. My teammate Roman Grosjean is in P4, Vettel P5, Perez P6, Verstappen P7, Kimi Raikkonen is P8, P9 is Valtteri Bottas, and P10 is rounded out by the first of the two Williams in George Russell. So, there's Kimi Raikkonen actually going into the pit lane, so they will promote Lando Norris up into P10 in his Williams. As you guys see here now, once again it is myself and Lucas Weber with the gloves being taken off and now heading down the back straight once again. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was getting so tired of defending, it's not even funny, but for the race win I had to defend. And guys, while I'm doing this commentary, this race was literally done a few hours ago, so it's so fresh in my memory. It's like it's kicking me from behind. It's like it's kicking me. Ugh! And as you guys see, once again Weber gets the move done heading into the chicane, but now barreling down the second back straight, which is shorter and harder to overtake at. I have the outside line. Weber actually leaves me in the room there. I would not have been as friendly, but going through that trip chicane, Weber is trying everything in his power to get that racing point ahead of me. But guys, if I was him, I would have been squeezing myself so much more. But I'm glad he's not, because he pinches me to the inside there. And now Weber has got me heading through the first corner. Guys, I don't know what he did, but that racing point at this last part of the race, that thing was turned up not even to 11. That thing was turned up to 1,000,000. Because that thing was stupidly fast in a straight line. Even in the short bits, I couldn't do anything about him. I mean, I'm on hot lap and rich mix, and that racing point still gets past me without DRS. So guys, at this stage I was starting to panic, because we are on about a lap 20 of 28. My tires are starting, no, let's do lap 23, 24, round about there. And my tires were starting to fall off dramatically, and his tires were only coming into their zone now. So I had to abuse this horse's straight line speed if I was to have any hope of taking my first ever Abu Dhabi Grand Prix win. But as you guys see here, just this engine is what's keeping me in this fight at this stage. Clearly the racing points are the cars that have the pace. It is actually sad that Sergio Perez broke his front wing on my rear end on what, lap 2, lap 3? What was it, lap 2? Because he would have been in this fight with Lucas Weber. And that would have made it really interesting. But I think then Racing Point might have double teamed me. So that might have been very hard for me, but it would have made for a great race. As you guys see, that's a beautiful switchback. A typical Arava switchback there. Now I open up DRS once again. I dive into the inside to force Weber to go to the outside. I put my wheels on the blue lines on the side. But guys, there is... What is on with this fight? We have not yet stopped fighting since lap 1. This race has been a hammer and tong fight ever since we got the green flag to go racing, and we're gonna fight till the checkered flag. This is what you want a season finale to be like. War between former teammates, and already, look guys, Weber is going to get a world championship at some stage in this career mode. But guys, a current world champion fighting a future world champion, and now as you guys see here, this is actually my teammate Roman Grosjean battling away with Sergio Perez. Guys, another twist in the storyline. Remember, it is ourselves fighting Rich Energy Horse Racing, fighting with Racing Point and Red Bull for 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship. And that move that Perez just made on Grosjean can seal Racing Point P3 in the Constructors' Championship. But we will see about that, guys. Remember, it's still myself and Weber. One thing that I can tell you guys is, was it I freaking take a gap there that really did not exist? I'm fighting with everything in my being to keep this horse ahead of the Racing Point of Lucas Weber. But my Formula 2 teammate with his butt ugly helmet is not letting up. As you guys see, we're side by side here. I'm forced to take to the curbs there. I nearly get a track extension warning. We are still side by side. Guys, he takes the outside line. He's going very aggressive to the outside there. He actually goes off track there to try and keep his racing point ahead of me. Oh, I think the fact that he went off track and even I oversteer like a drift car is what kept me in the fight there. But guys, what I wanted to say is Max Verstappen in his Ferrari took fastest lap at this stage of the race, but it was a blisteringly fast lap. And because myself and Weber were fighting, neither of us could get that very critical final point. Because if things ended like it ended now, myself P1, Weber P2, Perez P4, and Grosjean P5, I think Racing Point will take P3 in the constructors with 1 point. I do not know, but it's very, very close between ourselves and Racing Point. And also that is why this win is so important. It is not just for myself. It is to have a good farewell from this team and to give Rich Energy Horse Racing the constructors position that they deserve for giving me such an absolutely awesome car to drive with. But guys, Lucas Weber is fighting with everything in his being to take this lot. Guys, look at the speed of the Racing Point as I pinch him to the outside. Guys, I'm trying everything. I'm not driving dirty. I made a little bit of contact there, but I didn't try to force him off the road. I just forced him to the outside. As you guys see it coming through this part, we've got 1.5 lap to go in this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But Weber has got the DRS. I take the inside line. Weber is going to be forced to go around the outside. He's very late onto the brakes. I wish he had a lock up there, but we are still side by side. We have to give him the squeeze on this next part. Oh, we do. But guys, heading on to the final lap of the race. It is still fighting. Like I said, guys, we're going to fight literally till the checkered flag. He forces me to the outside. I will have the inside for the next part of the chicane. I take the very aggressive esports line there. But who will have DRS? Is it me? Is it him? It is me! Yes! Come on, horse! Stay ahead of that Racing Point. Stay ahead of that Pink Panther. Ooh, okay. But like I said, never celebrate until the fat lady has sung. Never, ever celebrate. Guys, look how much Lewis Hamilton has scored up. Guys, he was behind Weber with more than 20 seconds. And as well, Perez bolted away from my teammate. My teammate will steal P5. But guys, now it's about who is going to take P3 in the Constructors' Championship. You guys see my tires are, guys, I think they are over 40%, but soft tires going over 30%, they are useless at any track about. But guys, we're around the second to last quarter. And guys, it's a historic moment for Haas and for myself. This will be my first ever win around Yas Marina, and that has been Season 2 of IF1 2019 Career Mode.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
So another fantastic victory for Haas today. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Today was another great race and an even greater victory for Haas. Here they come now to step out onto the top of the podium. They'll be incredibly happy with today's result. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
The Constructors' Championship may be a foregone conclusion at the moment, but regardless, let's look at the standings. So then, Ferrari have now moved out of sight and out of reach. It's another triumph for the Italian team as they claim the World Constructors' Championship. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ants, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Guys, what a season. We are world champions. Unfortunately, Racing Point beat us to the punch in the Constructors. But still, guys, the difference between ourselves, Racing Point, and Red Bull was minimalistic.
Nice job this season. You've been performing well, and that's putting us in a strong negotiating position contract-wise. Plus, my 10%'s getting more valuable. So enjoy your break, and keep up the good work next year. Great work this weekend. It was fantastic to see you up on that podium.
Excuse my butchering of the English language, guys. Minimalistic. What the hell was I thinking? Was minimum. But guys, that has been the season. And guys, now the question is, where will I go for season 3? That is your job to figure out. But guys,
no rule saying you need to stay in the same seat forever. Selecting a team here only affects the negotiation. The actual move won't take place until the following race weekend.
meaning next season. Guys, that has been this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel to be part of the family. Like the video, please. I beg of you, like the video. I highly appreciate it. And finally, share this video with your friends on all your social medias. I'll see you guys next season. But where will I be seated? Let's see. Bye!